What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be finishing off the three-part series where I basically just give my opinion on which training techniques everyone should focus on, hone in on, and I also give examples as to what they are. So today we're going to be looking at the advanced category. If you are new, this is just, I suggest that when you get the game, because this is targeted towards people who don't have the game yet, I advise you to more so spend 20 minutes or so just going over these key things. I know a lot of people got the game and they hopped right in comp and they didn't know that you could do these types of things. And I know a lot of people who don't have the game currently are going to want to just hop right in and try to catch up. Training is going to be very important. Using the training guides that they give you is going to be very important as well. They put a lot of time and effort into them, and you know they're there to help you, right? So we're going to be looking at the advanced category. If you like the video, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Leave the video a like, and let's get right into it. Okay, so here we are in the advanced section. There's advanced guard techniques. It's just better ways of guarding attacks, advanced counters, mastering sparking mode, impact actions, moving attacks and moving evasions, and master close range maneuvers. This one, I could not pick a single one. There's actually two. That'll be advanced counters and master close range maneuvers. So we're going to dive into both of these. So here we're going to go ahead and select advanced counters. Get a look at these. We have perception, super perception, high speed evasion, super counter, Z counter, and I believe that's it. So with perception and super perception, maybe it's my settings. Maybe someone can comment down below. I could not figure out the quote-unquote difference between the two because they're both going to read hold circle and wait to counter, and in the training menu or the training mode you can't really get a good grasp on it because if you hold circle without even performing the counter, it will say you succeeded. So the best way to practice these types of counters is unfortunately against people, maybe against even the computer at a lower difficulty, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and show it here. Boom. See, literally all I did was press circle and it gave me the succeed menu before I even actually blocked his attack. But as you can see, what happens is they throw the punch, you block it, and you punch back and send them flying. You just sit there, hold it, they attack into it, you push them back. Now, the thing is, like we're about to see with super perception, it's going to be the exact same thing. However, in the training mode, it gives you a different outcome. Hold circle and wait to counter. So you hold it, and then it gives you that instead. See how you got all you lit up and it looked different. So again, I don't know if it's just the way my controls are set up, but in training there is not a difference between perception and super perception in terms of how you're supposed to execute it, and they do a really bad job at kind of telling you that. If you go into the training menu and look at like rules or things like that, it might more like specifically hone in on these two things. But I'm saying from this menu, from this training environment, it does not do a good job at showing you that there is a difference between perception and super perception. So again, I even did something different there. I was thinking, okay, maybe it's frame by frame. Maybe one of them you can just press and hold, which was the first one, and maybe for super perception you have to time it just as they hit you, time it and block it. But I mean, really, it doesn't, you can't see anything. Now, high speed invasion, arguably the most important thing and the most complicated thing to pull off for me. I don't know what my R1 button, I swear to God, doesn't seem to work online. Maybe it's broken, I don't know. But this is when as far as I know, whenever somebody hits you at any point in time, that's what I've noticed battling against the computer, battling against real people. At any point in time somebody hits you, if you press R1, the moment the attack lands, you will do a high speed invasion. It's kind of complicated because you don't like the idea of needing to get hit, at least I don't, but you have to get hit in order for it to activate. So ideally, what I was thinking was, okay, let me try to shoot early. That way, if I fail, I'm at least guarding. So I think that's what we do here. I think I've personally since then changed that. I think I'd rather get hit and try to hone it in that way. I mean, that way it's kind of like tough love, or not tough love, but it's learning the hard way, I guess. But either way, it kind of works. Okay, so how it's gonna look once he's done kicking my ass is like that right there. So the moment the attack lands, you have to hit R1 and you will teleport behind them. Now, again, I think the computer is set up to just do a basic square attack, basic hit. So that leads me to believe every single hit that they do, you can teleport or high speed evade. I've seen some people do it during ultimates. I don't know if you can do it during like the rush supers. I haven't noticed or I've just forgotten. But that is high speed evasion. Very, 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 very important that you practice this and get the timing down. Very important. I am still failing at myself, and this is probably what I spend the most time practicing on. Up next, we have super counters. Again, there are some things in this game that they allow you to do that I think is both repetitive and kind of weird. This is kind of one of them. Like that. They go to hit you, you break their guard, you punch them back. Now, I will say that in this, with this interaction, you will then be able to do some of the intermediate combos we went over where you can teleport to them, hit them back, hit them. Like, you can do things like that. Maybe that's the reason behind this, but this was extremely hard for me to pull off with it being L up and square. So, this is something I practice often as well. So again, this and the high speed evasions spend a lot of time doing. You're going to want to know how to do it. People that had the game early are going to know how to do them, and you're going to feel like you're going to rage. You're going to break a controller. You're going to break your system. You're going to break stuff. So practice these, get it down, because other people will. Next up, we have Z counter. This counter is for when the enemy hits you, sends you flying back, they teleport behind you, and right before or right as they hit you, you then teleport behind them, breaking their combo. Right? I noticed a lot of people pick this up extremely quickly. And a lot of people break out of my chains because, again, they do it. But luckily, it is something that you're able to counter back and continue your chains. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at it here. Piccolo's going to hit me back. He then teleports behind me. And right as his attack lands, we hit it again, going behind him and switch the combo to ourselves. Right? So let's take a look at it again. Boom, he hits me. Boom, teleport behind him. Boom, just like that. Very quick. Very, very quick, very easy to do. And yeah, that's Z counter. Okay, so the next one, Z counter uses. This one is like I was saying before, how if you perform the Z counter correctly, you're able to do another counter of your own. And this is essentially what it will look like, right? So your opponent knocks you back, they teleport behind you to hit you, you counter them, and then right before they hit you, right before you hit them as you counter them, they're able to re-counter you and continue the chain going. We're going to look at it one more time. Knock them back, teleport, boom. Very quick, very easy in compared to the other counters. Like I said, a lot of people already know how to do it. A lot of people are really good at it. So definitely spend time practicing the Z counters. Now, while the last two videos had one specific thing in beginner and intermediate, advanced kind of has two, right? The counters are super important, yes, but mastering these close range maneuvers are extremely important as well. It is essentially the combos and how to set up your combos and things like that. So this first one we're going to look at is the rush high speed movements. Right, so first things first, the rush attack. Okay, so the rush attack, like I said, is when you do that little dash forward. It can do things like break Whis' UI, break Goku's UI, and then allow you to open them up for combinations, right? So it'll look like this. Square, square, left, right, and then R1. Boom, 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 boom. And then you teleport behind them. I've noticed there's a lot of ways to teleport, rush, or evade, whatever you want to call it. So it is kind of confusing at times to tell which version of it your opponent is doing. We'll look at it again here. Boom. So you can teleport to the front, you can teleport from the back. Just depends on what position you start from. And again, so this is just a way to set you up for better combinations and things like that. So now this one is essentially the same thing. When someone is using the rush high speed movements or the combination on yourself and they do that teleport, you're able to then teleport behind them by hitting R1. Really easy to pull off. All you need to remember at really any point in time someone high speed evades is that you're able to do it in response. So as soon as you see them do it, boom, you're able to do it too. Now what I haven't been able to notice yet, I don't have enough time in the game and have a lot of hours on it already, is that it just seems like if you mash R1, you should be able to teleport at any circumstance, right? That's not the case. If you get hit, right, you could teleport. If they teleport, you could teleport. But I've noticed that if it's not exactly those specific times or those specific moments, it will not work. So yes, if they teleport, boom, you're able to do it as well. And if they hit you, you're able to do it as well. But without certain other inputs, it will not, the R11 will not work unless it's in those situations. So I think they did a really good job at like keeping those separate and then being careful not to create something that is just mashable. So boom, looks just like that. Really simple. You just teleport behind them. So this one is now a lift strike. This is what allows you to do a combo, lift them in the air, and then finish off the combo. Boom, very simple like that. You're going to hit them up, hit X to close the gap, and continue your combo. It's a very simple combo, very easy to do. Very easy to counter as well though, so be careful. So now burst meteor, right? You have to perform a Z burst dash. That's when you hit X and R2, right? And then you get the powerful dash that you do, and then you have to hit it again before you reach them to teleport behind them, right? Then you're able to hit triangle to hit them up in the air, and square to finish off the combo. It'll look like this. Boom, boom, like that, right? And yeah, I know if you've seen the other videos, you're like, oh, that was the circle move where you throw them into the ground. Yeah, it was. Not really sure why they made that square for this. But they did. It is what it is. But yeah, it's a fairly simple combination. One of my combinations, just because one, it's fairly simple and kind of hard to avoid. But yeah, I do it often. It's fun to do. Now this next one's called Dash Rising, and as it suggests, you're just hitting them in the air, opening them up for a longer combo. So you're gonna hit them, punch them up, and then send them flying. Next up, we have Dash Below. So you have to do a short dash to do this combination. Boom, boom, boom. This one will put them back into the ground. All you're doing simply is dashing forward, hitting them up in the air, and then hitting them down with the same button that does the cool animated one, just different combination. Boom, boom, boom. And like I said, this is why the button inputs are super important. Depending on what you hit, you will do different combinations. And obviously you do different combinations, but what I mean by that is, like, for instance, that button right there, square does different things depending on what buttons you hit before it. So that's just kind of good to know. And then lastly, a lot of people didn't know this, you're able to throw your opponents when they're on the ground. It's just a simple grab, the basic grab combination, R1 square. It's going to look like this. Get them on the ground. And then throw them like that. Very easy, very easy. Look at it one more time. Get them on the ground, grab, and throw. And there you have it. Alright everybody, thank you for watching the video. Like I said, this is the advanced category. These two areas, advanced counters, and then the very bottom there, close range maneuvers, are very important that you practice. Very important, because people are going to know them by now, know them very, very well, and they're going to make your life horrible in your matches. All right, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Like this video, comment down below your thoughts, and yeah, we will catch you in the next video. Thank you for your time.